Yeah, this is a update. This is an update about presentation I gave last year about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. For those who haven't seen it, it takes about an hour to explain how it works. So watch some of our videos. I think we have 2 presentations about Bitcoin on Progress Bar website. So if you don't know it completely, I'll just say it's cryptocurrency. It's issued without central banks, so it's peer-to-peer currency issued by each or some members that contribute computing power. What I wanted to tell now or talk about is some new developments in Bitcoin. So the exchange rate went to 30 after a CNN article that said that it's very easy to buy illegal drugs on Silk Road with Bitcoins, so everyone wanted to buy Bitcoins. Then everyone stocked their supplies and the price fell down. Currently it's about $5, 4 or 5, something like that. But I think the exchange rate is not the most interesting thing. There are 3 very interesting things I would like to talk for. One is a story from Bitcoin conference in Prague, which some of us visited, and I was sitting with Pavel on my left side and some random guy from, I think, Finland on the right side. And the guy on the right side was so bored during the conference because it was not technical enough for him that he was programming something, and I was watching over his shoulder and realized that he's programming Jim Bell's idea called assassination market, which was kind of weird. I don't know if you know the idea. It's a way to create anonymous assassination market. So you want to, for example, let's pick a popular example. Let's say someone wants to kill our prime minister. So the way to do it anonymously for all sides is to have an anonymous currency, which Bitcoin to more or some extent is anonymous if you're careful. So you can contribute money, and the question is who gets it. Of course, the assassin doesn't want to say I didn't give you money. So the idea is that they create a lottery, and you put a bet on the date of the death of the prime minister. So you say, I think that prime minister will die tomorrow, and my bet is 100 bitcoins. And if the real assassin thinks that the pool is large enough and it's worth it, then he will place a bet he will die on, or she, on 10th of March. So the easiest way to win the bet is to actually do it. And the system will automatically distribute the prize to everyone who made a correct bet. So this was a theoretical idea by Jim Bell, and yeah, this guy on my right shoulder did the implementation. I don't know who he is, but it was public on GitHub. He had 2 test users. One was Homer Simpson, and the second one was SpongeBob SquarePants. And when he announced it on Twitter, it took 10 minutes, and then the 3rd entry appeared, which was Silvio Berlusconi. And then it took, I think it was 2 or 3 hours, and the site went down. So just an interesting story. Second interesting story is Bitcoins are really secure. They're based on cryptography, and if you know what you are doing, it is very difficult to steal your Bitcoins. But there were quite a few hacks which stole the wallet file with all your private keys. So if you don't keep the file secure, they will steal your money and you won't get them back. It's not possible. The transactions are not reversible, and it's peer-to-peer. So if this happens, your money is gone. You have no one to complain to. It's just gone. So it happened this week to Slush, which is a guy from Prague who is operating one of the largest mining pools, and I think the amount that was stolen from his wallet was 3,000 bitcoins, which is something like 10,000 euros. So it's just one stupid file, but if you don't keep it safe and encrypt it, then...
So what happened with the file?
It's just a file. They stole it, imported it, and then made a transaction and moved it to their own account.
So he was hacked.
Yeah, actually, he even took quite a good care of security, but who was hacked was the cloud operator. So the operator of virtual machines was hacked, and they reset his root password and stole the file. So if it's secure, everything that someone claims is secure has conditions, and one of the conditions for Bitcoin is that you have to take really good care of your wallet file. The third thing that happened, which is also very interesting, is that grassroots stock market appeared. It's a traditional stock market. You issue stocks. When people buy it, they get a share of your virtual company, and you then pay them dividends. You can perform shareholder voting and stuff like that. There are quite a few very interesting companies. Some of them are doing Bitcoin mining using FPGAs or GPUs. And what's interesting about this is that right now you can see capital markets being formed from scratch, from grassroots. It's not an authority or anyone, it's just a website that creates a stock market. So it's very interesting to watch if you want to see how these markets are created, what all those futures and shorts and longs and how currency exchange works and so on. If you want to really understand what it is about and what it's used for, not actually for speculation, but create real companies and to, for example, protect yourself against currency exchange rate risk and so on. So if you really want to know how capital markets work, this is a very good opportunity to watch Bitcoin and learn about it. Of course, there are black markets, actually several of them, where you can buy almost anything from drugs to weapons to anything really. And yeah, it also shows that people want to do voluntary exchange, so they want to buy stuff for Bitcoin, sell stuff, exchange stuff, and if they want it, it will happen. And with Bitcoin and Tor, people actually can create these markets, and we call them black because the state doesn't like those markets, but in essence it's a voluntary exchange between people, so it's beneficial for both sides. So that's stock market and capitalism being created somewhere in the crypto anarchic hidden world. And the fourth thing I wanted to talk about is Namecoin. Maybe you have heard about SOPA. It's a proposal for law in America, and one of the parts of SOPA is that it gives government power to censor or reconfigure domain names. So say you are a Chinese company, you manufacture fake Rolex watches, and of course if someone wants to buy them in China, there's no problem because there's no law in China that you can't do this. But if someone in America wants to buy them, they have a problem because you can't import fake goods. But it's very difficult to check it on the border and so on. And what SOPA proposes is if this Chinese factory or shop has a .com domain, they will just delete the domain. So you won't even get to the store. Some people took the algorithm from Bitcoin, which is kind of like peer-to-peer consensus algorithm, and created a domain name registration system on top of the algorithm. So it's a different blockchain, but it has the main idea behind Bitcoin. So it's completely peer-to-peer. There is no central authority, and it works. And what happened during, since I had the last talk about Bitcoin here, is that they merged the validation. So Bitcoins are created by mining, but that's not the most important part, that they are created using this process. But the transactions are also collected and validated using this process. And with merging those that computing power, you get the same security Bitcoin has for Namecoin also. So that's what works right now, and you can mine both Bitcoins and Namecoins, and then buy some cool .bit domains for Namecoins. So that are four most important things I think that happened. If you actually have a properly configured name server that understands Namecoin, you can visit our webpage at progressbar.bit. That's all. Thanks.